Hello everyone, Blue Star Saber here once again to do another Dead Rock chapter review. Chapter 10, Slaughter. This chapter will follow up, let's see, from last week's where we learned pretty much Hien and Kuga's backstory, where Hien was sort of like a mentor, friend, and arguably bodyguard to Kuga was like pretty much that to Hien, and but was also a bit of but he was also a bit more of a womanizer, so he wanted to try and attract all the maids. Unfortunately, all the female maids at the place at Hien's work, these Hien's estate, seemed to prefer him or just attracted to him, much to his dismay, which caused some jealousy. He tried Hien to try and defend let's see, Yakito, or Yakoto, but eventually Yakoto decided to take up the fight and defeat Kuga himself. But while this is going down, the sort of vice principal started taking notice of the students in the library. What will he do? Well, we'll have to find out. And has Yakoto defeated Kuga. But before we go there, I'm just going to talk about the colored, let's see, cover page. It's just a one-page thing where you have Frey releasing her flames, which I forgot to mention now. In summary, she beats up Jack after, after Jack trapped her into like a little tiny biscuit or metal. But yeah, it's pretty much just her using a fire powers. In many ways, it would be kind of like a similar pose you would probably see Natsu. In fact, I think some people would say that Frey does kind of look like a daughter of Natsu, at the very least. But yeah, it's a fine cover, though. Granted, it's a bit more of a more revealing outfit than her school outfit. But well, that's Hiroshima with his fan service. But I do like the flame backgrounds in it. It's a pretty simple cover, really. Probably something you'd see in a comic book normally. But there's also like the info cover for the regular chapter, where this time we have Hien with his profile. The root is Fenner. He's from class 1F. He likes strength and dislikes peanuts. Okay, that is a very peculiar dislike, but okay. Strength, I suppose, is predictable, but peanuts is a bit random. But oh well. Not sure we'll ever actually see it in the manga, but who knows? Anyway, we learn from the notes that he's the son of the Lord of Fenrir Fort Castle on level 306. He's a warrior who fights with an ice sword with the power to freeze where it cuts. During the Dead Rock entrance exam, he saved Yakoto and was saved by him in turn. He's a taciturn, but he has a warm heart. I might pronounce that word, but yeah. But pretty much it states where that it's pretty much royalty, at least in his place, but or at least a well-paying noble, but yeah, and talks about like the sort of debt thing that he has with Yakoto, so basic stuff, and also pretty much hints about his personality, which I think we can kind of get. Anyway, the chapter follows off after Yakoto has punched Kuga and he's on the floor with Kuga just shocking Chaco and Hien that Yakoto seemingly managed to put him down, but Kuga's just laughing. With Yakoto then starting to wonder, wait, did you actually let me hit you? Which surprises the others, but with him wondering, is it because I'm like, with Yakoto saying, is it because I'm a friend of your little master? With Kuga going like, well, I ain't that good, but goes about like into his mind is doing some poses saying, such elegance, don't dwell on it, mon chéri. Well, I think that's what I'm trying to pronounce. I'm not very good at reading French, I think. Let's see, with Chaco going like, I never get what you're saying, you and me both. He just laughs it off with him. Then he ends just asking Kuga, with him going like responding, saying that he idolizes his strength, referencing back to, I suppose, the profile data. But yeah, in the notes, let's see what he likes. But it says, but if you hurt, well, but if I saying that if I hurt him without intending to, he wants to apologize. But Kuga says not to sweat it since he is the one that got jealous. But he goes like after all these years, he's going to feel a bit nostalgic since he last saw him. He started sort of doing that sort of blushed embarrassment thing with which causes Hien to smile, which gets Chakago surprised at this. With Yokota does mention that where is a rare sight. So with Kuga saying, "You want to be my friend again?" Which Hien says yes, but before they could shake, Kuga gets killed by being squashed by a giant hand, shocking all of the free class F people there, particularly Hien, since he's got blood splattering on him, and we see it's none other than the Vice Principal's hand, with Hien shouting Kuga's name in shock, and the Vice Principal going like how silence is required in the library, with also realizing it's the Vice Principal, one of the 4 demon teachers, wondering if he's actually in charge of the library. With Hien then drawing his sword, Ritzy slashing it, causing some ice, but it shows to have no effect. With Chaco going like how they can't seem to beat him yet. With her then telling others they gotta run. With Yokota say, but we haven't found the book yet. Let's see, but Witty goes on about how we can get it. I think either he or she, I think she says we can get that anytime, reminding Yokota that the book shows whatever book you're thinking of. With Yokota realizing that he thinks of God's weakness, but the Vice Principal realizes what the students are after, decides he won't let them have it, does something with his neck and starts changing body a bit, but then it was revealed to grow super large, with her going like with surprising the two, the duo of Yokota and Chaco. Let's see him going like and causing some sort of breath that reverts Chaco into her bird form. He then tries to slice her in the nose with his ice, but surprising Yokota. But he goes like Yokota. He just goes like, how could you? He was my one friend in this world, and you going like how you killed him, you bastard. Well, maybe not that. I should probably not curse. Sorry. Anyway, we see him use a move called Ice Blade Snow Moon Flower Strike. It slashes across his entire head, but and you can see it just spraying out even beyond the head, with him saying to shatter to bits, and we see like a bunch of blood spreading. But it was revealed that it didn't. Let's see, despite his face looking covered in black earlier from the last panel, the next panel just shows that it's only just a bit of a scar scratch kind of thing. Like, ooh, that only hurts a little, which shocks Hien because that was seemingly one of his most powerful attacks. With Hien going, how about you? This year's batch of first years are like full of pep. But Finn thinks that's more than enough now, so he won't let them go any further, causing a giant hand, shocking a Hien. And the principal saying now it's time for your punishment, seemingly with a double-page spread, splatting the hand, seemingly crushing Hien to death, and blood splattered everywhere, shocking both Yokota and Chaco, so much that Chaco sort of pees, which I will admit, it's a bit of a close-up. Granted, she is in her bird form, so I suppose she should be glad it's that instead of her human form, so or demon form, whatever it is. But yeah. I mean, I don't think Hiro Mashima would go that far, but at the very least, I don't think I'd ever thought it'd show anyone being terrified at the very least. But yeah. But yeah, the vice principal then raises his hand, seemingly the blood splatter, and we Hien's blood splatter with only his sword left. With Yokota going like, "No, Hien's son." with the vice principal just saying, "Now give me the book. Be a good boy and giving me that book to Yokota." Mitsu just shocked from what's going on. Let's see, with the principal smiling, then turning to rage, saying, "Hand it over, unless you want me to squish you as well, like ants." Which results in him dropping the book. With Yokota just looking on in fear, and the principal turning to pick it up and bring it to him, with him saying, "Yes, sir." And then we cut to Dead Rock School Dorm, Bone Rampage, where Class F is, where the remaining members of Class F. Hold on. Class F. Well, Raisin and Mikoto are just talking with the group, with particularly Mikoto talking about how she's impressed they all managed to make it out alive. With Raisin saying they must have had the luck of the devil. With Frey asking Mikoto if she can bring back Hien from the dead, but she says that there's no body, she can't. With then Frey commenting that, so then that means both the lion and the Hien are dead. With Hanning going like how we only just we didn't even get a chance to know him. With Yokota thinking back about Ritzy Hien's rage about when his friend was killed, with him then starting to wonder if he could have been his friend too. Crying afterwards when he realized he came to rescue him. Ryzen starts to tease him, saying, you cry for people? With Mikoto asking Ryzen, what do you think he is? But anyway, you got Shako asking Yokota if he's lost the will to fight, but he says nope, he's ready to go to war for his family, friends in the village, for Hien-san and Kuga-san. He's going to kill God if it, and saying it's going to kill God if it's the last thing he does. They all just stare. Everyone then stares at him seriously. With Chako going like how, well, that's a relief to hear. Saying, well, both got spared there. She said she did, but she managed to do a job using her sort of black magic or flames. I can't really tell. And revealed that revealing that she has the book of God's weakness, revealing that it's actually God's roots. So we have that with Yokota then just staring on. And then we cut to seemingly some different room, which assumingly is the vice principal's room, as we see his fingers holding a book saying, you can go to the bathroom on your own, which you have Plu on it, in the cover, with him just staring at it. And then just him thinking about when did those brats switch it out, thinking that if God finds out about this whole debacle, declaring those members of Class F, those little bastards, in rage, ending the chapter. Okay, overall thoughts. Well, it seems that we end up learning that Kuga may have actually let Yokota take him down in one shot, which, let's see, in many ways negates some of the criticism I think I had for the last review, where I didn't really like him being taken out in one shot. So, okay, he let him win, mostly because, let's see, Yokota is, let's see, at least he seems to believe, is Hien's friend. So, you know what, let's see, I mean, props to that. It's like, given that Yokota's been weakened, he probably shouldn't be one-shotting people like he was in some of the earlier chapters. But yeah, I do like that. But I do like how Koga is just shows that despite everything, despite his sort of like jealousy towards Hien, he still seems to cherish the time he had with him. And so much that he's willing to not get hit by the friend of his little master. But yeah, though granted, he seems to deny it, but he seems to deny it at least outright. But he seems to think it's elegance. But I do like how Chaco just cannot be is just completely puzzled by Cougar's behavior and words. But yeah, I do like how you've got let's see, sort of going, let's see, using some of the information we got from like the cover profile saying that Yamaya's Koga's strength. But I do like how he seems like, even though he's not, granted, I don't think he really needs to apologize to attracting all the girls to him, but I do like how he tries to say that he at least always admired Kuga's strength and feel sorry that if he wanted to, let's see, if he ended up hurting his friend, even if he didn't realize it. But I do like how Kuga says, like, nah, it's not your fault that he got jealous and he got all the girls. But I do like how he's just like thinking, you know, after all these years, I'm feeling nostalgic. How about we be friends again? But yeah, and you get Heian smiling, so it kind of shows that these two do have this sort of cherished friendship. Though, granted, I will say Kuga crossed a line a little bit with Frey, but let's see. Well, not too much of a dark line, but still. Like kissing her cheek when she's unconscious. But before this friendship, of course, happens, you get the sudden death of Kuga, which I will admit, it's a brutal death. So, props to the vice principal, just completely killing someone without even a hesitation and just so quickly. But I guess it goes to show you how strong the vice principal is if he can easily kill a third-year student and one that supposedly is the top student in one blow. Granted, he got punched by Yokoto earlier, but still. He sort of let him punch him, from what I can tell. But yeah, it's a very brutal thing, and it's just quite the surprise. I mean, granted, we probably should have seen it coming. We knew the vice principal was going to come and deal with the students, and if anything, Kuga was probably arguably the most expendable. But I do like how everyone's just shocked by it, and of course, this gets Heian to build up the rage to the vice principal, and pretty much I figured, like, okay, yeah, this is the start of like Heian's, let's see, descent in like helping Yokoto shake down guard, particularly with his opponent being, of course, the vice principal of the Demon Guard. Now, granted, what surprised me is the fact that Heian is seemingly killed in the chapter, like after everything, which I'll admit that is a surprise, but frankly, I am not really full out convinced that Heian is actually dead. If anything, I think he might have just managed to somehow. I don't know how Heian's going to make him survive, but I have a feeling that we have not seen the last of him, and he's going to come back wanting revenge for for the vice principal for killing his one friend, which we see his rage at, which I thought was pretty well done. But yeah, I do not think that Heian is dead, since he is one of the 7 main characters. I mean, okay, maybe Hero could be cutting the numbers down a bit to have a more focused cast, since this is supposed to be a much smaller manga than what he normally does with, say, like Rave Master, Fairy Tail, or Eden Zeros, but who knows? I could be wrong, but at the moment, let's see. At the moment, he might be dead, but let's see. But could possibly be alive. But if he is alive, yes, props to that. I'd say, yeah, called it. But if not, I suppose props to Hiro Mashima for doing a surprising death so early on in the story. What was seemingly going to be one of our main characters, our main supporting characters. No, I do like how we see like a bit of Heian's ice moves with like him trying to cut the vice principal and cause ice afterwards. It doesn't work particularly, even when he tries towards like the end with like that actually doing an attack move like the Ice Blade Snow Moon Flower Strike. Let's see, seemingly cutting the face, but let's see, well, he managed to hurt him. he hasn't really permanently damaged him, which could lead to like if he does come back to like him trying that move again, and this time permanently damaging or even killing the vice principal. But yeah, when I think Class F ends up actually fighting Class F fighting the demon. Let's see, demon card. Wait, hold on. Demon teachers, yeah. But anyway, we end up learning pretty much what the vice principal's abilities are, and it seems to be some form of giantification and body manipulation, where he can just make his arms the size of giants, even his head the size of giants. Let's see, arguably, growth enlargement might not be the most complex or powerful move, but I think it works if you want this character to be a full-on pure strength guy. And you can clearly see how strong he is if he's strong enough to squish people. So I'll give props to that. And he does seem to be, for the most part, quite, let's see, quick to guess, like, okay, this is what the students are doing. As he pretty much realized that they are pretty much trying to steal God's book for, like, to try and find out his weaknesses, and he immediately tries to stop it. And even like really angrily, menacingly tries to threaten Yokota and Chaco to hand over the book once he's seemingly killed Hien. Trying to do like the first smiley man thing, but then gets angry when the book isn't given to him at first. But yeah. Now I do like how Yokota and Chaco let's see, did I say Chaco's name last, or did I mention Yokota and Hien last? I think I meant to say Yokota and Chaco, but yeah, okay, never mind. I'm getting a bit off topic, but yeah. But he ends up scaring them so much. Let's see that they're just terrified with Chikoto seemingly wetting herself, though granted, I wonder if that was a ruse just to try and have that book swap out, because if that is the case, I would say that's probably a very clever one to swap out the book, so when the vice principal terrifies Yokota that he just completely froze, he ends up handing the book, even though he wants to find God's weakness. But if he does that now, hold on a sec. But Yokota, I think, pretty much realized at the moment. Let's see if he tries to challenge him now. He won't. Let's see. He won't win and likely get killed because, well, the vice principal is shown to be very quick to kill his opponents. So I do admit it's quite impressive that he was just like intimidated. Granted, I'm curious to see what happens to Hien's sword. I assume it's just going to be left there, but who knows? I could be wrong. Anyway, yeah, he also seems to have some sort of breath thing that can turn Chaco from her human form to a bird form. So he seems like, besides body manipulation, he might have some sort of wind powers, which I wouldn't be surprised since Hiro Mashima always likes to do like the 4 elements kind of thing in his work, particularly with like a group of villains, some of which would eventually become allies to the main character. But yeah, in his group. But at the moment, I'm not sure if that's going to be the case with these lot. These might be more based on those like 4 demons that were towards the end of Hiro Mashima's final battle with Rave Master. So we've got that there. No, I do like how the students talk about how Yokota and the others survived the vice principal, though I particularly like how Mikoto is like impressed by this, but Ryzen is just seeing like, you must have the luck of the devil, or how Yokota cries for people, so he's pretty insensitive, which I do like how Mikoto sort of defending him, but by saying like, "Who do you think he is?" Which I wonder if that means her trying to say, "Let's see, everyone cries, you dumbass." But yeah. But anyway, we end up learning something quite interesting from Mikoto because when everyone asks if she can just revive Hien, like he did Ryzen, but she reveals that she needs a body, and since there was no body to be found, or it might have been completely squished, Ritzy Hien may be permanently dead, which upset Yakuto, but his resolve to kill God remains strong when asked about it by Chaco. But yeah. Anyway, but it's nice to know that Mikoto has some limits on her necromancy. So it's like, okay, there needs to be a corpse for me to like bring back someone. But if not, they're permanently dead. So I do like how that little rule is established. It's like, okay, this is what happens when you're dead, which makes me wonder if that's why the Vice Principal always smashes people or squashes them. Because it's like in case they come back through necromancy, might as well try and permanently erase them. But yeah. But I do like how let's see, Chakugo is testing Yakuto's resolve before he reveals that he has God's weakness, which he managed, which of course, like I mentioned, swapped it out with like that Plu how to use the toilet kind of book. But yeah, it's quite funny that it's let's see, there's a nice little nod to Wraith Master with like him showing with him showing up on the book's cover. So I do like that. But anyway, it seems that we finally learned that the weakness of God appears to be his root, which okay, makes sense, I guess, because it seems like whatever your abilities are, there's got to be some weakness to them. So now, granted, we still have no idea what God's root is actually yet, which arguably the next chapter will probably be revealing what on earth is the We'll probably get some answers on what God's root is next chapter, since he seemingly seems all powerful and is able to destroy anything, or like destroy entire human civilizations, or take down a black dragon. We might find out why he's able to be so powerful. But at the moment, but yeah. So I do like that, and I do like how like Yokoto's shocked face, but I think they might now want to try and read that book soon because the Vice Principals realize he's been duped and he's angry, especially pardon me, sorry. Especially since he knows how angry God can get, which I can't really blame God. Unfortunately for him, his own like rules of the library that any book you think of will come to you was probably pretty much a huge mistake in the design of the place, because now see it was able to pop out as weakness, and the one group of let's see, and the one class with the groups of people wanting to take down God is pretty much got the book that can reveal God's weakness, which turns out to be whatever his root is. Well, speaking of Chaco, I'm a bit disappointed that we don't see Mikoto and Raisin's reaction to the fact that she is actually a human in disguise. But well, but everyone seems to be fine. Frey, Hanin, Yakoto, and of course Chaco. But yeah. Anyway, overall, I think I'd give this chapter a 9 out of 10, mostly because of like the moments you have with Hien and Kuga before that's all taken away by the Vice Principal, who looks kind of goofy but is actually quite ruthless, particularly with killing. And you get to see Hien fight him a bit, but he is no match. Then he seems to apparently dies, and the Vice Principal's Bitsy presence is so terrifying it completely scares Yakoto and Chaco from trying to even attempt to fight back. But I do like how Chaco's able to swap out God's root book, let's see, before the Vice Principal is able to notice, and we finally got teasers to how on earth to beat God and what his weaknesses are, which seems to rely on his roots. But yeah, overall, very good chapter. Arguably one of the darkest ones yet. Supposedly killing a main character, but we'll just have to wait and see on that part. But for now, I am Blue Star Saber, signing off. For those who have ended up listening, I hope you enjoyed what I had to say. And even though it's quite early in the UK now, I will probably say Happy Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. I hope to end up watching some Star Wars stuff, but I have got something planned with Lucky Chi, not Star Wars related, but Dead Rock related, which I am going to discuss with him for then. But for now, I'm going to be heading off. Goodbye, everyone. Enjoy your day. And thank you for listening to this review and stream.